Alright, welcome back, Eden Vine. I haven't seen you in a while. Alright, so Gold 2 US, you lost this game, you're looking for tips regarding macro in the mid to late game. Thanks a ton, love your videos and previous 2 coaching VODs. Thank you, man. You're okay to upload the replay on your coaching channel if you like. Okay, so obviously as a support in the mid to late game, you can't like directly influence the macro. Like you can, but really you're gonna have to like ping people what to do for most of it. But obviously we'll just kind of have a look, but my kind of guess would be that there's not that much you can do to kind of impact it directly, but there'd be a lot of like you can probably ping people to the right kind of location. So starting out the lane phase, you've got what? Kaiser Swain versus Janna Samira. Interesting lane. Don't think I've ever seen this combination of champions play bot lane before. I think you probably should be autoing at least some of these creeps. Yeah, I think you should have put at least some orders on the wave or be looking to like control this bush. I think at the moment you don't really like pressure anything. Like you haven't put any orders on them and you also didn't put any orders on the creep wave, so it kind of just meant that you didn't really have any pressure over the lane. Like it's arguable. I think you guys probably lose level 1 anyway, so I think that's like maybe why you didn't want to. But I think if you'd put orders on the wave earlier, you actually probably would have got level 2 first, because it doesn't look like they're really pushing for it. But I do think if like, oh, okay, yeah, you actually got it first anyway, but I don't think you should have if they'd played well. But yeah, it's fine. Nice dodging there. This is probably going to be... You should think a lot about this Swainy. It's basically the only kind of threat on you in the lane. Also, if, like, yeah, so first off, you don't really want, unless you're like doing something with this pressure, there's not that much reason for you to do this, like to be so far away from the creep wave. Just because like, well, just like when you're laning, right, you need to think about like what the kind of key things to avoid are. So Swain is a lot like Blitzcrank, and the way you kind of deal, well, at least Swain support is a lot like Blitzcrank. I guess Swain mid is nothing like Blitzcrank, but basically it's like they have this one threatening ability, right? And the way you kind of position around it is by sort of like playing in the creep wave. Obviously, it can still hit you through the creeps, but then it's like much harder for them to follow up with like, just like Kaiser W or like Kaiser Q or auto attacks like in a giant creep wave and stuff. So if you position like way out here, it's pretty bad. Also, I think if you get hit by this, you do need to... actually, yeah, you kind of did tap the Q straight away, but there wasn't... Yeah, I don't think you could have done it any faster. Probably another thing is I think you have bone plating, but I don't think bone plating really does much for you in a lane against double range. Generally, bone plating is much better against melee champions. Like, or melee support that kind of need to engage on you, like a Leona or something. But if you're versus range champs that can proc bone plating, if you do want resolve, second wind would probably be better for you. Yeah, or maybe just like a different tree altogether. So now lane is obviously very, very hard. You don't really have any threat whatsoever, and you kind of just have to sit behind your ADC, which sucks obviously because Janna is actually pretty strong in lane, can do quite a lot of auto attacks, put in quite a bit of pressure. I don't think there's really a gank opportunity. I think Fiddle's just kind of too weak to gank this lane, but I mean, we'll see. Kind of feel like it just won't be a kill if he comes, but I don't know. Well, let's see. Maybe I'll be wrong. The W. If he flash Qs. Okay, yeah, it actually did end up being a kill. And a 1-for-1 I actually think is fine for you guys. The wave is in a really good spot. So yeah, I actually think it worked out pretty well. You should instantly base, which you do. Come back. I would honestly probably buy a Dark Seal here. So just because Janna is a champ that like actually uses AP pretty well, like as you know, but can actually stack it up pretty quick because you're pretty much always going to be alive in team fights, getting like assists and getting KP and stuff. And it's kind of hard to die as Janna. So normally you'll have like score lines, like 0-0-15 or some shit, like you will have a lot of assists. So I actually really like Dark Seal on Janna. And then you could have, well, actually, I don't think you could have got anything else, right? I guess you could go Dark Seal Fairy Charm, I think. So I guess maybe you could have had a slightly more efficient base, but this is fine too. Like Amp Tome is definitely fine as well. But I think Dark Seal would have been a little better. Nice Q. Yeah, you played this pretty well. This is all good. I am just gonna go back to one thing. So, I'll just talk about it, but it doesn't matter when you're on blue side. So basically, the reason when you pink this bush, normally you pink on the very edge on this side, right? And the reason is because if you pink on like this side of the bush, it doesn't show quite all the vision through here. Now, it doesn't matter on this side, because like, you know, there's a very low chance that your mid lane is going to get ganked like from your red buff, right? But if you were red side and you pinked here, it would be super, super important that you pink the left side of the bush. Otherwise, there's like a small sliver of vision that they can slip through here if you don't ward that properly. So just point it out. Doesn't matter this game at all, especially because you're blue side. Very, very unlikely you get ganked through there. But yeah, just bring it up anyway. But I like, it's a good place to put your pink. I like that you walked there out of base and pinked that. Because I remember that was something that, like, I think ages ago, right? You used to do that. You just, like, walk to lane out of base. So that was really good, what you did there. Oh, yeah, wait. We already saw this. I forgot. Wait, did we? Oh, no, that was a different queue. Okay, you're hitting a lot of queues. I've kind of gotten lost. Okay, that guy's very, very low. You gonna quick scope him? Oh, it was close. This is pretty good. You see Kha'Zix's top side. So you're chilling. You can play as aggressive as you want, pretty much. Nice E. I think here, like, I'm not sure what this Q is for. I feel like, you sort of aim it at Kai'Sa, but I feel like there's no chance that ever really hits Kai'Sa, because I think right now Qs on Swain don't really do anything, but any more Qs on Kai'Sa are really, really good, because it puts her like literally to the point where she can't really lane anymore. So I'm not really sure like what this Q is meant to do. Like maybe this Q is meant to zone like Kai'Sa off the creeps or something. I'm not sure what you're thinking, but what you should be thinking is that like your Qs and like all your mana and stuff should be going towards like the Kai'Sa. Like damage on Swain doesn't really matter now. Like one, he's like pretty high HP, but also he's not the person that you need to deny from farming. Like, yeah, that Q, I don't really like this, to be honest. Like, yeah, it pushes him away, but it's like it just doesn't really make a difference. Like the damage on him, like you see how you've used your Q and your W on Swain, and like the 1 HP Kai'Sa is just allowed to play because, well, because you've used everything on Swain, right? So I think, yeah, just as a general bot lane thing, like once you do get someone very low, whether it's the AD or the support, but particularly if it's the AD, you kind of just focus everything on them, because once one person gets forced out of the lane, the other person often can't do anything. And like, especially bot lane, or especially the AD carry, as I was saying, if you can take the AD carry out of lane and stop them from farming, that's really, really big. It's Kai'Sa base here, which means you guys kind of have to push this under, but it is going to be kind of difficult. You probably have to queue the next wave, I'm guessing. This is going to be hard. I guess maybe you could stack a giant wave. Yeah, maybe stacking is the way to go. Lissandra's in bot river, kind of annoying. Yeah, it sucks for you to have this. I think you honestly probably just have to one-shot this wave, but it's pretty hard for you guys to realistically get it in. It's kind of an unfortunate timing because your jungler's topside and your mid doesn't have prior, so you're kind of forced off that wave, which sucks. So you're going to lose a wave if they freeze it. Okay, it looks like they did not freeze it. You walk back... Oh, no, they did. You walk back bot, which is fine because you already have a pink, and I don't think you can do anything ganking mid. Okay, no, they didn't freeze it. I'm not sure what they did with the wave. Okay. I think that's kind of all good. What happened here? Oh, by Swain. You should be careful not to stack, actually. That was kind of crazy. I'm actually surprised this hit both of you, but I guess Swainee just has a giant hitbox. It actually looks like it didn't hit either of you, but yeah. It's sort of unlucky. But yeah, think a lot about how the enemy bot wants to trade. Oh yeah, that's like 2 times in a row. I think you really don't want to give that, like, free damage. Because, like, now you guys are super low, and you've used basically all your... Yeah, okay, this is so bad. Like, imagine instead of being, like, really low here, you guys are, like, 50, or, like, Smear's, like, 50%, and you're, like, 90%, then you can facilitate this gank really, really easily. But it's like, okay, now you've used your E already. And like Samira's actually dead. Although I think this is still going to be kills, right? Maybe one or two. Probably just one, I'm guessing. Is she actually going to get out? Oh my god, this is tragic. Okay, yeah, this is like... This is so bad. This is like game losing. So, let's go back. Let's go way back. Okay, so right here, if you guys don't stack here, obviously you don't get hit by this. I don't think, like, yeah, it's pretty bad. You lose a lot of HP for free here, but actually it's kind of fine. Like, you still have refillable, and Samira's like 60% health, so you're actually okay at the moment. This wave's pushing into you, so you have no reason to walk up and contest this wave. Oh, I guess it is just... No, Samira's actually fine. Like, Samira now is fine. She shouldn't walk up to the wave. That's not really your fault. There's nothing you can do about that. She takes a lot of extra damage for free. I think here, honestly, you probably should Q just to keep them off Samira, but like, that does require quite a lot of foresight. Would be quite difficult. I think the main point is that if you guys just hadn't stacked at both times, like, you probably could have stopped Swain from trading onto onto Samira, and then Samira would have been a lot higher HP, and this gank would have gone like 10 times better. Because that is like so bad for the game. So you really need to avoid that sort of situation. And if you just played the lane like a tiny bit better, I think there you're actually just looking at like 2 kills for 0. So it would be really, really different. Okay. Wait, hold on. What happened here? Let me go way back. Okay. So here, they did the bot gank thing. You base. You've already got a pink. Yeah, okay. There's not really anything else for you to do right now. Yeah, I think pathing bot's fine. Oh, wait. Wait, never mind. I'm thinking of a different time. Okay, so here's the bot gank, which happened. Then you're low, so you base. So here, I would say you definitely walk mid out of base, which you are. Now, why do you stop? I guess it's because this wave is pushing away, so you like feel like Samira needs help. I guess it's somewhat understandable, yeah. If you can actually... Okay, there's like 2 things. So, if you being here allows Samira to farm this and push this in, then this is good. If it doesn't, though, then it would be just better to like pink this and then walk down, because I'm not sure you guys should be able to crash this wave. Like, you're a lot weaker in the 2v2 and your jungler just showed top. So let's see, because I feel like you shouldn't be able to crash this, but maybe you'll be allowed to. And like, especially if you're not allowed to crash this, then there's not much point being here, because you being here won't really change if Samira can farm or not. Okay, Bus is here. Nice ult. Okay, yeah. So your wave is still in a fucked position. I think it would have been better for you just to commit to the ward, like way back here. I think if you... Yeah, I would have just pinked the river, I think. And then walked bot. So... But it's not. It's definitely not as bad as it used to be. You've improved on that quite a lot. Okay. Yeah, you're kind of just like pinned under tower, which sucks, but I don't think there's much you can do. There's Samira's lifesteal, so I guess you're kind of fine now. You guys are just chilling, just waiting for fiddlesticks pretty much. I think you should definitely like, especially if you're not pinking the river, you should definitely pink or at least sweep like this area in the tri-bush and like around it to make sure that Fiddle can gank. Because I think your only real bot win condition is ganks. Like, I don't think you can really 2v2 them. So you should be making it really, like really easy for Fiddle to gank. Like, this is a bit too much. Right now, again, you guys are actually kind of fine. Like, you're both really high HP. You're waiting for Fiddle. And you're actually not taking too much damage under tower. But, like, you walking up and just, like, trading with Swain, it doesn't really benefit you. You know, you see, like, you get 20 gold, but, like, you lose a lot of HP. Samira also is taking really bad trades. And you guys are just, again, really low HP, really low mana, which makes it really hard for this gank to actually work. Like, you've just traded with Swain again, and it's just not really meaningful, you know? You did like 100 damage, but you lose all your HP, all your mana. You don't have any pinks or anything, so now it's like, oh, actually really nice Q. Yeah, Q was really nice, admittedly. Okay, you played it well mechanically, I think. But the whole like idea was kind of poor. Like you guys just lost way too much health. You don't have this like Tribush pinked or swept or anything. So I don't think this gank should have worked, but fortunately for you guys it does. So that's good. We take those. Okay, come back on the map. You can maybe drive by mid. It'd be pretty crazy. Okay, let's see. So good Q. This ward pretty much never really does anything. Um, yeah, like just warding this bush here doesn't really do much. If you are going to ward this bush here, it should be a pink to sweep out any ward in this bush. I'd prefer to see like that ward placed like on blue or like in their jungle or even on dragon. Just I feel like if you can, like especially right now, you have prio or you don't have prio, but like you have a window to where you can like quickly even if you don't want to go all the way in their jungle, like you can just ward over the wall or something. Or yeah, ward dragon, because I feel like the ward and the side of mid kind of doesn't really do anything. I can understand if you're scared of base checking Kha'Zix. And maybe them you don't want to walk into their jungle, but you definitely could have warded over the wall, I think. Okay, if Fiddle wants to come back bot, I would probably sweep. Actually, I'd probably pink this, just because your pink in the river got cleared, so I would probably pink that, but actually, I don't know. Maybe it's fine. It doesn't really make a big difference either way, as long as you know it's swept and Samira pinked it. Yeah, actually, I think it's better to hold on to your pink and let Samira use hers, because you'll get an opportunity to place your pink later. So I actually like what you did there. Damn. I kind of got lucky with that ward timing. Feels like a long laning phase. It's only, oh yeah, it is 15 minutes. Like, okay, this looks so different to before because like this time, at least your Samira is actually starting the fight with like high HP. You know, even if you don't have like that much HP or mana here, it's like Samira for once is actually going to be able to do damage in a skirmish, and you can see, like, look how easy this gank is compared to the other ones, right? So the main difference on this one compared to the other ones is like first you do have that try pinked, and like they ward it and then check with Swain W, but like ultimately Fiddle can be there a long time, right? And then the only kind of problem is that you have lost quite a bit of HP. Like I really think these trades are really not worth. What the fuck? That looks so weird. Those trades are really not worth it for you. You're like giving up all your mana for literally like meaningless damage onto Swain. The only thing you get out of this is gold. So if you were gonna do this, I would actually do it on Kai'Sa just because like, yeah, she's a bit more important. But I really don't like these trades. But overall, it's way, way better than the other times because you guys are literally just like full HP. Or not full HP, but Samira actually has HP to fight it. So very different. Oh, what the hell happened? Samira comes in, I mean, not Samira, Lissandra comes in. I think you should have saved. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have even used Q here. I literally would have just E'd Samira. And I think, yeah, so it was kind of just a, oh, not even mechanical, like, just like champion mastery. If you're a bit better at Janna, you E that, and then everything is fine. But I mean, to be honest, it's not even that bad. You guys lose drag, I think, but it's not the worst. Okay, see base, come back on the map. This is what I mean, by the way, where the Dark Seal will be really good. Like, you just collect assists as this champ, and you can't really die, so you... Well, you can die, but it's difficult, right? Oh my god, really nice Q. Yeah, you guys kill them easily. Should be a double. Oh, the TPing in, that's cheating. I think, yeah, if you kited for your ult, maybe you win this? Or... You're just playing it kind of too fast. Yeah, that's a hard thing. Like, if you guys were communicating, you could probably tell her to play it slow, but yeah, no, she kind of just played it way too fast. This is good, though. Nice counter from Fiddle. You're alive once again. Oh my god, the Dark Seal value would be so crazy. Wow. Nice. Can you kill this guy? Not quite. Okay, I would probably base. Yep, nice. You base Moonstone. You've got red trinket. Okay, everything's looking amazing. Oh my god, you path mid out of the base. I love this. I love this. I really do. Yeah, this is so good, by the way. Like, I swear, the old Eden Vine past bot here and does nothing. The new Giga Chad Eden Vine past mid and just, like, skirmishes. We love to see that. That's really, really good. Oh my god, that was a sick cue. I think, I'm not sure he did that on purpose, but it turned out really well. Okay, you guys get out. Okay, I guess now we're in the mid game, so we actually should start talking about like the macro stuff that you were talking about. So, now here you guys have lost top tower and you've got bot tower. So basically, like kind of in the mid game, the stuff you're thinking about is mainly it's like what kind of pieces do you need to move in terms of like lane assignments and like you know, moving people from lanes, so like going from mid to bot or like mid to top or whatever. It's like about moving people to different lanes in order to knock down towers, as well as like neutral objectives like Dragon and Herald. So in this situation, I think like, yeah, you've got bot, which means like the way we want to do this now is you want to push bot, or you want to allow bot to push rather, because like you physically don't want to push bot, but you want to allow bot to push. And then we use this bot pressure to come mid. And of course, what we have to be mindful of, and what they're doing, is they will do the same. They will use their top pressure to move mid, which is exactly what Mordekaiser's doing here. So I think when this is, yeah, I think if people were contesting Samira, then you'd really be wanting to like control this bot river. But if she can just like farm this for free, oh wait, can she? Maybe she can't. Well, there's actually nothing you can kind of do about that. So I think this is actually okay. Yeah, this is actually fine. I think your team just kind of overchased. Like, Ari dashed in really far. Can she get out? Ari definitely dashed. Oh, she dies. I'm not sure you could have done much about that. And maybe you can clean it up with Darius, actually. Yeah, yeah. Holy fuck. Dude, I thought Darius was weak because of his top tower being down, but he's just coming in and rolling everyone. Okay, your team cleans up. Okay, this looks really good. So your goal right here should be to take this mid tower. This list, even if she kills you, yeah, it doesn't matter. Okay, actually she flashed out. Oh no. Samira, what are you doing? Okay. Okay. Well, if you guys can get them, well, I think you could have played the end of the fight a little bit better. Like, okay, when Lysandra appears here, I think if you save your E for yourself rather than Eing Samira, like, you probably live here. Also, you had ult, didn't you? Oh, no, you didn't quite have ult. Oh, yeah, it was like 0.1 seconds. That sucks. Maybe if you played a little bit better, you live there, Lysandra dies, and you get the mid tower, so it would be pretty different. Okay, so yeah, like now, basically what you're looking to do in the mid game, you want to control vision around the objective, which is going to be Dragon in a minute. So you want to kind of like ward the bot side, get pinks, you know, control the river vision, make it very difficult for them to take it. And then we're playing for like priority on the mid wave and contesting this Dragon. Oops, I just hit the mic again. I literally always do that. Okay, this is good. Really good. I think you should get, I would say, the optimal wards is like, I would say this ward should be a little bit further up. Like, should try show this choke. Can be either just like up here in the corner or literally just like over the next wall. I like the pink location. I think that's really good. And the ward over this wall is good. Yep. So I would say almost perfect wards. Could maybe be a tiny bit better, but you know, I'm pretty happy with it. So you should be making sure that Samira gets control of this mid wave pretty much all the time. Like, okay, this is like, it's interesting. I think, okay, this ward is useless. I'll tell you right now, this ward again, it doesn't really do anything. It could do something later, but only if they're the ones with the control. So I would say here you should be playing like a bit further up on this wave, making sure that Samira can get this and Lysandra can't. If you're scared on this wave, I don't think you need to be, but like in theory you should be sort of scared because like, okay, Darius is getting pushed in and Ari is also getting pushed in. But the reason I don't think you need to be scared is just because like you have all this vision bot side, right? So as long as you play towards bot side, I think you're fine. But this is really bad, right? So giving up priority on this mid wave should mean that you lose all your control. So if this is like partly Samira's fault because she should be on it, right? But if you're playing up here and making it difficult for Lysandra just to push in this wave, and instead of Lysandra being the one that gets priority here, because like you're 2v1, right? Like she shouldn't get it. Now you can be in the river like contesting these people, or at least like, even if you can't actually contest them because your jungler isn't there, at least like posturing and making them like think twice about it. Because like what's actually happened macro wise is that you got all the river control, but then because like you guys gave up priority on the mid wave, which is like again not just your fault. Like you could have played more aggressively. So because Samira Fiddlesticks is in the wrong place on the map, right? Like he should be around mid. But because you gave up this mid prior, now we don't really have great dragon control. And I mean, I don't think they really do either. But yeah. Anyway. So exact same thing happening here, by the way. Midwave in mid game is like the lifeblood of the game. Midwave means like literally everything, and this is why even in like pro games, like ARAMs start always on the midwave before an objective, because midwave means like first move to the objective and control of this area, which is extremely hard to face check into. So the problem is here, you're skipping steps. Your step here is okay, help Samira. Or like you can order this wave, you can queue this wave, you can play aggressively. Just be here and get Samira to push this wave as soon as possible, then move in and control vision. What's happening is that you're moving into control vision without pushing the mid wave. And now your Samira is like getting engaged on for contesting the mid wave, which is like, in this case, I don't think it's Samira's fault. Like obviously if you're not there, she shouldn't play that aggressively, right? But the best play is that Samira is allowed to play that aggressively. So that's kind of why that happened. Okay. Yeah, once again, I would probably do... they're fine, actually. Like, your mid's dead. They won't be contested anymore, so that's actually fine. So you guys get this in the end. After a good fight, you base, which is all good. Okay, so like now that Dragon is down and Herald's not up, the next objective will be tier 1 towers. So if there are no neutral objectives up, the next objectives are tier 1 towers. So it's like mid tower and top tower. Top tower is generally a bit easier to take than mid tower. It'll depend, like obviously on their comp, like if they have wave clear or not. This game, I think you probably could take it. Their wave clear, actually, no. If Lysandra is mid, you probably can't take it, but... So again, the macro here is like get priority on this mid wave, walk in, take control of their topside jungle, just as how before it was to take control of like the bot river and the bot side jungle. Here it would be like pink in the top river, wards in the topside jungle, and then use this priority over mid to allow Darius to push and take this top tower. So yeah. So you guys give up prior on this wave, which is bad. I'm not sure if there's anything you could have done here. Like you're not on the wave anyway, so... But it's a 3v3. No, you probably don't get prior on this wave anyway, so it's fine. Now, what happened here? Okay, they just like randomly engaged or what? Okay, yeah, they did. Nice Q. This looks like a good fight, I think. Yeah, you got a lot of value with your ult here. I wish you had a Darkseer, by the way. 0-1-13, 0-1-14. Okay, nice. Your team just kind of shit on them. There's not really anything else to do here. I mean, you played the fight really well as well, but just as a whole, your entire team, including you, just sort of rolled them. So you're going to get the mid tower here, I'm guessing? Okay, he altered Fiddlesticks. So he dies. As long as you get the mid tower, it does not really matter. Okay, you should get the mid tower and base. Okay, you guys get another random kill. Okay, you base. Okay, so it's like same thing again. Like, it gets a bit more difficult here because Dragon's in 220, so we kind of want to play for that. Also, this top tier one is still up. I would say now you're probably playing for this Dragon. Again, this ward, it has to stop. It's triggering me. Yeah, there's much better locations for those wards. I think always like pink here or pink here, and then ideally all 3 wards are in the jungle. Oh, actually, no. Normally you place 1 ward further up in mid, so like right here. And this is to see like what, you know, if they're pathing like top side or bot side. But if you can't get that ward, just ward in their jungle instead on like the side that you want to play towards. And remember, we're playing for Dragon here. So here it would be like, yeah, more aggressive wards. That ward also sort of sucks. It doesn't, you see how it just doesn't show that much? Like it can be wards here. Yeah, like on their blue, just like further in. Like you've got control at the moment. I guess you could drop a ward on Baron instead if you wanted as well, just in case like they were gonna rush it. Yeah, I actually think that's fine. You don't need to play like literally the perfect macro because solo queue macro is very different from competitive macro. But okay, priority over mid, you guys. Okay, so this is actually quite good by you. you see how you guys get prior, you come, you allow Ari to push this top wave. So I think you are still playing for drag, but you've like you saw them bot and you use your prior mid to allow Ari to push this, which allows you to get that top tower. So that was good macro by you. But now, after Ari gets this top tower, there's no reason to play top. So right here, you should be just like controlling the bot jungle. This is bad. Don't use a sweeper here because the vision here is irrelevant. Like all that matters now is the vision around this dragon. So like you guys are walking towards Lissandra, but unless you can play for this tier 2 tower, there's pretty much no point. Also, your jungler is bot side and all your vision is bot side. So bot is your mega strong side right now and you're playing towards your weak side, which means that this is very, very risky. If they counter gank this, well, you should either lose dragon. I'm not sure what the fuck they're doing because like if this happens, you should lose all your dragon control or you should get counter ganked here. Okay, so they push mid, which means you should lose your dragon control. I don't think they can walk up to that tower. Okay, so these guys are just like trolling. So what happened basically, I'm not even sure where they were on the map. I guess they're in your bot jungle or something. But it's like, okay, they should have had this mid prior a while ago, and then they could have taken this mid tower, or they could have come through and swept this. Like, I have no idea where their support is right now. But I think what you did there was honestly pretty risky and not that high reward. Like, it is a kill, but it's not, it doesn't get a tower, it doesn't get any objectives. I think you should lose your mid tower, maybe? No, No, you probably shouldn't lose your mid tower because Fiddlesticks over the wall is too scary, but you should lose all this bot jungle vision. I think, anyway. That guy's a psycho. Okay. And let's see. So Ari's pushing up the mid wave. That's fine. You guys have pretty good vision. Yeah, so like this is pretty good. Obviously, if you can make sure this pink is gone, it's good, but it doesn't matter too much. You'll see though that how easy it is to fight when you have like full vision of their jungle. Like obviously this guy just like TPs in and dies, but when you have all the information like you do now, it's so easy to play out fights. That's actually so easy. Okay, push mid wave. Now I would potentially base here. I think you should probably base because it's like, okay, now you've completed the like play, right? The play is over, which is taking drag. You don't have any wards. So unless you're staying on the map for an item, I think you base and now you're looking to like redeploy and now control their top jungle because it's like, okay, now dragon is gone, that top tier one's gone. So it's like most likely we're playing for Baron or like top side jungle vision or tier 2 top tower. So I think top side should definitely be like the lane you're playing to until the next dragon is up. But yeah, you kind of waste time here. See how you're on the map like an extra, what, like 20 seconds, not really doing anything because you don't have the wards. So you had redemption. Yeah, you had redemption that whole time. So it was kind of just a waste of time. But this is good. Darius gets the mid wave. I like the pink. Yeah, I like this a lot. You get some vision. If you'd been on the map earlier, you know, like let's say you were just at like where Samira is now because you'd based earlier before. I think with this mid wave, you could probably get even deeper vision in their jungle. Like you saw Kha'Zix's bot, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you saw Kha'Zix's more bot. So with Darius's mid prior, you should be able to completely control their top jungle. Or even force Baron, yeah. I actually like the pings on it. I think you guys could have done it if the team really wanted to commit. That ward, once again, doesn't really do anything. Should be deeper in the jungle. Can be Raptor wards, Red ward, Krug ward. Just like, I don't know. Just a bit more aggressive than that. And you have like so much control over the map. And you don't really use it that well, I don't think. Or a ward in mid as well. That can be good too. It might be worth, honestly, watching a support warding video. I'm pretty sure Coach Cupcake probably has one. I actually can't remember, but I'm sure you'd learn something from there because support warding is really, really complex, actually. And you can get... Oh my god, that was really nice. You can get a lot out of your wards. Nice. Okay, so... Yeah, let's just look at this, by the way. So just... You guys are the ones normally that get priority over mid, right? But your control is so shallow. Like, yeah, you have control of the top river, which is good. It's definitely good, but like the amount you guys are ahead, you should have control of their entire jungle rather than the river, and that's mainly up to you as a support, is getting those deeper wards. You do have to be quite careful, like, you know, like I was saying before, when you were skipping steps, you have to do mid wave and wait for people to show on the map, like their Kazakhs, before you go in for really deep wards. Otherwise, you'll have lots of times where you just walk in and die. Um, so yeah, you do have to kind of like get used to like what time to do it at, but it is mainly up to you as a support to kind of dictate the vision and stuff like that. Jeez, huge fiddle. I think you guys roll them here, right? Oh my god, look at the score, by the way. If you had a Dark Seal or even a Medjai's, you had a Medjai's. 0-121. Can you guys do Baron? I'm not sure you can do Baron. Do you have enough damage? Because like Ari's got no mana. I'm honestly curious to see if this works, because I don't know. If you are doing this, I'd probably ward over this wall just to see. Okay, Fiddle's on the case. I guess that's fine. Okay, the answer is actually yes, you do have the damage. Okay, nice. I like the itemization. I really like the itemization. Come back on the map. Okay, yeah, so once you get Baron, you generally want to play 2 waves. So that can be either you want to play mid and top or mid and bot, and generally you want a 4-1 with like 4 people on the side lane, so like say 4 people bot, and then your mid laner, or sorry, your top laner, or rather just a person with TP mid. If no one has TP, then it's just your safest person mid. So I would say, honestly, you could probably 4 bot with Darius or Ari mid. Like, I think both of them are reasonably safe. So yeah, it could probably be Darius or Ari mid. Now, when you deploy out of base, this is something that, on a high level, it's better for you to... I don't know. Okay, the things I consider when I deploy out of base with Baron is like, one, like which side do I already have vision on? So like you've already got quite a bit of top control, so you could play mid top. And I think it would be fine to play mid top, but I think you're right that playing mid bot here is like maybe a little better. Because you've got dragon spawning in 1 minute 50. The only thing you need to be careful of is if you're deploying to the side out of base with Baron where you don't have vision, the enemy might be like waiting right here to pick you. This is very common in Challenger. Like if you're walking to the opposite side of where all your vision just was, like they can be here. You're skipping steps by doing this. You should die for doing this, probably. I think you should. That was very, very greedy. So what should happen here? You should wait. Let your teams push the wave and wait for the enemy team to show. Right now, you saw Kai'Sa top and Lissandra's dead. But there's 3 people unaccounted for on the map, and you're not in any rush. You can wait. You don't need it doesn't matter if you get this vision now or in 30 seconds. So I would just wait. And again, like that word's not that useful, but so yeah. Also, Ari should not be basing. It's a waste of time. It doesn't matter if she has an item, like you need to be using your Baron. And why is Samira doing Krugs? It's the time to pressure, guys. It's not time to farm. Holy fuck. Darius one-shot that guy. Okay. I mean, who needs macro when you got Darius? Oh my god. You were just going up to that tower. Okay, well, you guys have killed 3. So I think you should be able to take 2 inhibs here. Should be mid inhib and bot inhib. I think, yeah, if you just play with Darius, play on your range and don't let this list get on you. Okay, so that's like not what you want to do. Like here, okay, you definitely just need to play like up here or something, like away from Lissandra. You don't need to like walk at her. It doesn't really make any sense. And even here, well, no, actually there is nothing you can do. I was gonna say maybe you could redemption yourself, but it shouldn't really be possible. So because you die here, it's actually very, very bad. Wait, who else died? Ari died. Okay, Ari got cheesed by Kazakhs. And you... Okay, so because you and Ari both died here, what should be 2 inhibs is going to be no inhibs, I'm guessing. Okay, yeah. This is really, really, really bad. So right now, it looks really good for you. You losing your HP here, like, that's fine. You're actually losing HP to this tower, though. was kind of problematic. Like now you're low enough that this guy can kind of one-shot you. So you need to play like really carefully on your range here. In fact, it might even be better just for you to base and get on the map for dragon. In fact, I think that's better. I think that you're just too low really to pressure, so you should just base and get ready for drag. Instead, like you die, and Lissandra's able to clear this wave, which means Darius can't kill this, and then obviously your Ari died, but there's not much you can do about that. But now you're going to be late on the map for dragon. Okay, yeah, so this ended up super fucked. What should have been like 2 inhibs and drag is now no inhibs and no drag? Or maybe you get this drag? Okay, you did barely get it. I think you kind of misplayed that. I probably wouldn't channel R here. I would literally just press it to knock this guy back and then I'd run. So you keep channeling it for the HP, but I think your position is way more important. I think if you just tapped R to knock him back and then ran, probably would have been fine. Again, from a macro point of view, like you really just want this drag and then get out because this is like a 3v4, I think it is. So you just want to leave. Like if you can tap R, this guy can charm him. Like you guys are good. In fact, yeah, I think if he kept running, maybe you live. But this is really scary. It's a numbers disadvantage, so it's not really a fight that I would say you want. Yeah, so the game is definitely not as good as it could be, but it's still pretty good. Okay, I like this. I think we are playing for for Baron next. This feels a little bit scary. Do you know where they are? Okay, right now Swain's dead. Hold on, let me go back even further. So Swain's dead. They could be anywhere. Liss was top. You hit the sweeper thing, so you know sort of that they're not here. I think this was pretty greedy as well. I think you probably should have waited until Samira and Ari had pushed another wave. I think they could have picked you there. Like, now's a really good time to get wards. And also, look at how, if you had your wards here, I guess actually you still have your wards, but if you'd had more wards here, you know, this is like a fully warded top jungle, whereas like you kind of used your wards on not great locations before. So be willing, yeah, like that's such a good ward right there. This one that you just put down. So be willing to wait just a bit longer to get like way higher value wards. Like I got more altered. I think, yeah, you guys don't really want this fight anyway. Again, if you're looking at the map, like Darius dead, Fiddlestick's really far away. You guys are just playing to get out. I wouldn't be looking for a fight here. This is like a 3v5 at best, which is pretty not good. Yeah, pretty not good. So you should be like spam back pinging, which I think actually you were. So, but yeah, this is really bad. As long as you live, it's sort of fine. Can we kill that guy? E yourself for the AD? Okay. Okay, the fight actually turned out not too bad. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys just played it much better than them. But it still wasn't great, right? You don't really want to trade evenly when you're the winning team. Okay, let's keep skipping ahead a bit. Okay, so once again, pathing back on the map, you're playing for Dragon next, which makes sense. And then, yeah, same thing. You need to go through mid first. So the steps that you should take, I'll write this down for you at the end. It's always like you push the mid wave, get prior, and then you use the prior. You like wait for them to show on the wave that they're catching. So like you push the mid wave, they show while they're catching it, and that's your cue that like you can walk in because you know where they are and your whole team, or like you and your AD and your jungle, hopefully, can all be there. But this is quite risky again. So I think you're going to be fine, but it's... Oh, okay, this guy's inting. Okay, that's nice. It was kind of skipping steps, though, I think. Yeah, actually, this hasn't turned out that great. Like, your mid wave is really, really bad. Someone needs to just nuke that mid wave. Like, the way you can test this, because right now they have all the control, right? So walking in here is really, really difficult. This is like the opposite situation of like where they were in the previous, or in the earlier in the game. Like, you had all the control, and it feels really tough to walk in. So the way to get back control is you push this mid wave, and they are forced to catch it. And if they don't, you can take inhib, or you can start Baron. I think just like walking into a 5v5 where they have the control and you have no waves, like look at your mid wave and look, yeah, I don't know. You just have like no pressure from waves. They have full control of this area. It just looks so hard to fight. I think they have all the advantages. Okay, Lissandra just sort of trolled again. Like, okay, if Lissandra is using the fact that you guys have no vision to get a good flank, like, dude, if Lissandra is up here and just ease into you guys sideways, you're literally all dead. So Lissandra's just playing like a front to back for some reason, like she's an Oriana or something, but she's not. So yeah, she ends up being totally useless. So maybe you guys can just win this fight. Holy. Actually don't know what's going on. Okay, it's very, very close, and I think... Could you have played it better? I think your ult wasn't that great, to be honest. Like, people aren't really low enough yet. I think if you held onto your ult a little bit longer, you probably could have got a lot more value out of it. And maybe like some of your Qs could be a bit better. Also, like you put yourself in danger, kind of not for much reason, right? Like your goal here is really just to put shields on people and peel. But you're like playing to like put damage on this Kha'Zix, but like that's so useless. You lose like your entire health bar to W him. So I think you need to kind of know your role in team fights a bit more and like play towards it. Because yeah. But that fight honestly turns out pretty well, given that it should have been like very doomed from the start, I would say. So yeah, it all kind of came back to that mid wave and who had control of the objective. So now playing towards this again. I actually like this time because like you know where they are. You just saw them on the mid wave, so you can actually cheat, kind of and get a little bit of vision before. But yeah, I guess you can cheat macro, skip a couple steps here because you saw them, which you normally wouldn't be able to. But I like that. Guys are all contesting the mid wave, which is good. Ideally, you get a bit deeper vision in topside jungle. I'd say, yeah, if you could get that a little further, it'd be good. Wards bot side are pretty irrelevant. I wouldn't drop any wards down here. I think this is really bad. Like you're giving up you have full Baron control right now, and they should be really scared. Like, why do you guys need to be bot? Like, I don't think you do. If someone's going bot, it should be Darius. Like, it should not be Samira. The problem is, like, you're giving back all your control and giving up control of mid waves, so macro-wise, this is like, you're just giving them everything for free. Like, you guys are losing that mid wave to fight the vision, which is actually sort of worth it, honestly. I kind of like what your team did here, but it's like, definitely not something, it's not optimal. It's just like you were kind of forced into it. This was... Yeah, that was pretty... It's another kind of bad start, but... Yeah, no, I think maybe if you flash a bit quicker. Because I kind of, well, I don't know. This all just seems like a product of what happened before, you know? Like, now it's so easy for them because they have all the vision. Like, you don't know who's here. Like, you don't have control of the midwave. They're just like, they know exactly where you all are. So it's just, yeah, like, you can play it better. You could probably, like, flash. I would probably flash first and then maybe ult so that you're a bit further away. But, like, it's really hard to know, right? Because you guys don't have the control. Like, that's the problem. You give up that vision, and suddenly it's much more difficult for you guys to make decisions. So now the game is honestly looking not very good. They get Baron, right? Or do they not? Yeah, they got Baron, so the game looks pretty scary. I believe this is Dragon Soul for you if you get it. This is good. Good wards. Tap R, yeah. I think you're fine. Well, that's good. That's fine. That's a good trade. Yeah, like as soon as I saw that guy ult onto you, I was like, oh, that's perfect. Oh, these guys mega entered it though. Oh, Darius is gonna clean it. Oh, he messed up his ult. Okay, I mean, like, you could have done this a little bit better. Just, like, again, like, you kind of have to skip steps here because, like, no one's here to clear the midwave. I think you probably just need to keep your Q. What did you use your Q on? Oh, you just used it really early. But honestly, I think your death is fine, and I think like you should have won from this point. Like I think if you trade yourself for Kai'Sa, that's super good. The problem really was your team kind of entered after, but it's like, just at this point of the game, the support impact is honestly quite low. Like you don't really decide. I guess you could have redemptioned that actually. You probably could have redemption these guys in the pit. So don't forget about that. But yeah, like at this point in the game, you're pretty much just like a shield and Q-bot. Your kind of time to really take over the game is like long over by this point. Like support is probably the strongest role in the game for the first 20 minutes or so, first 25. But after that becomes much, much weaker. Obviously, it depends what support you're playing, but yeah, just in general, support impact is I don't know. Don't get too caught up on like the actual minutes. Just basically what I'm trying to say is that like support is very, very strong for the early mid game, but is like not that strong in the late game in general. Okay, so they got drag, so you're playing towards this Elder. Okay, here, by the way, I was saying before how that pink actually matters. Like, yeah, you need to place the pink on this side because it doesn't show. Oh, well, you're placing a ward in the side of mid anyway. Like, you're placing that ward, so I guess it doesn't matter, but that ward only matters because you're placing that in the wrong spot. So if you place that in the right spot, it'll be better. You got the Scuttle Crab. You guys got control of mid, but you're giving this up because Fiddle goes bot. So this is fine. There's not much you can do here other than just kind of like wait. Oh my god. Wow. That was honestly pretty crazy. I think here the only thing again would be try to avoid stacking with your ADC in general. Like it's happened a lot. Like you only need to stay in range to E. You don't really need to stack right on top of them. Yeah, or I guess like be in range because like if you're not caught up in this and you manage to just like, oh yeah, she ulted you as well. She actually played it really well. Like if you don't get caught up on this and you just like get a huge ult redemption here, I actually think you might be able to win this. But just the way it started is pretty much the worst way possible. Are you still gonna win this? No way, right? Oh my god, you actually what the how the like this looks so doomed. Okay, so massive fiddle ult. Smear's still full HP. Feel exhausted. Okay. And I guess you just end, right? Or can you not? Wait, Darius got executed. Surely you guys win though, right? Oh my god, please win. Okay. Nice. Okay, what a game. That was a very long game. Okay. You have the notepad, so what is this? This is Janna. That's for Edenvine, Janna coaching. Okay. So honestly, like just straight up, I don't even remember a lot of stuff that happened in this game, but from what I do remember, the biggest things from the early game, you could play more aggressive. Yeah, you could play more aggressive in lane. You honestly have to go back and look at it. Like the game was so long that I've sort of forgotten the exact points. But yeah, I remember playing aggressively and lane was a good thing. Also, I think like your trading was pretty poor, so kind of like trading at bad times or for bad reasons, like losing a lot of HP when you really need to stay full HP for the fiddlesticks, or just like trading in ways that don't really make sense. I think your early game, yeah, you just like lost a lot of HP for free. Lost a lot of HP for free, which made a lot of stuff bad. Also, your positioning in lane phase could be quite a bit better. I think there's times where you're like stacking on your AD or you're not like in the most pressuring position. But yeah, to be honest, I just don't really remember the early game that well. The mid to late game was when things really started kicking off. So yeah, it is mainly like a lot of macro stuff. So some macro stuff like the steps. Actually, I'll just write down the steps. So it's like steps. I'd say it's like push mid wave. And then like wait for enemy to show on that wave, and then it's like push vision into enemy jungle. Yeah, probably like that. Like that's how you really control side. You could maybe break it down more like, you want to like get some like shallow vision, and then you want to push another wave, and then you want to get some deep vision or something like that. But just in general, like you want to get like much deeper wards than you're doing, I'd say. So deeper wards in general, like more, just like more valuable wards. I think also a team fight positioning slash role. So, you know, there's like that time where you're just like walking up to Kha'Zix and losing all your HP for it. Like your goal and your role in team fights is literally like play behind your ADC, just like peel them, you know, get big ults for them, E them. Obviously it's a bit difficult because you have Samira, which is like a champ that wants to go in, right? But a lot of the time you're playing pretty much like frontline Janna, or you're just like playing Janna like just not really like what she's meant to be. But your Qs were quite good. I did think your Qs were quite good. Mid-late game, macro stuff, steps. Yeah. I'd say, was there any other really big things? I'm trying to remember now. The game was just so long. You know, there was a lot of macro stuff, about, yeah, just like, I guess like setting up for objectives and like, yeah, pushing midways and stuff. And kind of the value of that, like really important not to skip steps. That's like the main macro point. To be honest, you might want to go back in this video and like kind of take notes from stuff, because I feel like I should have even wrote notes kind of as the game was going on, because it just ended up so long that I feel like I forgot some of the points I made. But anyway, hopefully it was helpful for you. Yeah, maybe I should just start writing notes as I go, because this was the first time that I really feel like I'm a bit lost, honestly, as to what happened in that game. But yeah, hopefully it was helpful for you. Let me know. I'll copy paste these to you on Fiverr. And yeah, good luck.